The guy showed up at our campsite, but he never used a flashlight. And out there, that's not normal. So it was just me and my girlfriend, Kayla. We planned this quiet little camping trip out in the woods of West Virginia. Nothing crazy, just a weekend to get away. No phones, no distractions, just us. We found this small campground, maybe 6 or 7 spots total. Most of them were empty, which honestly felt kind of nice. Kayla picked a spot all the way at the end, the kind of spot where once you're there, you can't really see anyone else. We set up our tent, got a fire going, made some food. Everything felt normal, relaxed. But looking back, it was a little too quiet. The woods didn't sound right. No bugs, no wind, nothing. At one point, I remember looking out past the fire, into the trees, and it just felt deep, like the darkness wasn't empty. Kayla even said, "Does it feel like someone's out there?" I brushed it off, said it was just the woods. But honestly, I felt it too. Then, out of nowhere, this guy just appeared. No footsteps, no light, nothing. He was just standing there, right at the edge of the firelight. He introduced himself, said his name was Drew. Looked normal enough, but something about him felt off. The way he stared at Kayla, it wasn't casual. It was intense, uncomfortable. We talked for maybe a minute or two. Then I told him we were heading to sleep, and when he left, he walked straight into the trees in complete darkness. No flashlight, no phone light, nothing. Around 3 a.m., I woke up. I didn't know why at first, but then I heard it. Voices right outside the tent. More than one. They weren't loud, but they were close. Then, suddenly, they stopped, like they knew I was awake. I didn't move, didn't breathe, just listened. Then I heard footsteps circling the tent, slow, deliberate. Then, nothing. Morning comes. I don't even mention it to Kayla at first. Didn't want to freak her out. But when I go to the truck, I see it, a note, under the windshield wiper. "Don't stay tonight." That's when I told her everything. And yeah, we were both freaked out at that point. And then, like it was timed, Drew shows up again. Same clothes, same expression. But this time, he looked nervous. He tells us straight up, "You guys need to leave, like now." Says people walk through the woods at night. Says they watch, and they don't like outsiders. We didn't argue. We started packing immediately. Kayla's hands were shaking. Honestly, mine were too. We threw everything into the car as fast as we could. Didn't even organize anything. Just wanted to get out. Slow tension. We're driving down the dirt road, almost out, when I see something. 3 people, standing in the trees, not hiding, not moving, just watching us. I slowed down for a second, and Kayla grabbed my arm. "Don't stop, go." So I drove, didn't look back. When we hit the main road, I checked the rearview mirror, and Drew's car was still there. Driver's door wide open, and in the front seat, something was sitting there. I found a notebook in the woods, filled with tally marks, hundreds of them. And they weren't old. So I went solo camping out in Montana. Needed to clear my head after some life stuff. Didn't want people around, didn't want noise, just silence. I drove out deep into the woods, way past the usual campsites, to a place where you don't run into anyone unless they want to be there. Eventually, I found a clearing. Perfect spot. Flat ground, good visibility. Except there was already a tent there. It looked old. Like really old. canvas faded, mold creeping up the sides, like it had been sitting there for years. I called out just in case. No answer. Nothing moved. So yeah, curiosity got me. I walked over and opened it. The smell inside was horrible. Like something had rotted in there. But there was no body, no bones, nothing. Just a notebook. Every page was filled with tally marks, grouped in sevens, page after page after page, just counting something. In the last page was recent. I should have left right then, but I didn't. Instead, I set up my own camp on the other side of the clearing. I don't know why, but I didn't like turning my back on that tent, so I kept it in sight the whole time. And that's when I noticed something else. There were no signs of anyone else. No footprints, no trash, no fire pits. Like nobody had ever been there, except whoever owned that tent. Night came fast, and it got dark, really dark. The kind of darkness where your fire feels small, useless. I kept looking over at that tent, just sitting there, not moving. Eventually, I went to sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night. Didn't know why at first. Then I heard it. Voices. Not loud, not clear, but close. They were moving around my tent. Slow footsteps, circling. More than one person. I grabbed my knife and stayed completely still. Then someone pulled on my tent zipper. Hard. I yelled that I was armed. Everything stopped. Dead silence. Then footsteps. Running. Multiple directions. Like there were at least 3, maybe more. I didn't sleep after that. Not even a second. I just sat there, waiting for morning. When the sun finally came up, I stepped outside, and the first thing I looked at was the old tent. It was gone. Not collapsed, not moved. Gone, like it had never been there. But around my campsite, there were footprints. Bare footprints. Dozens of them, all forming a perfect circle around my tent. Then I saw the tree. Fresh marks carved into it. Tally marks. 7 groups and 1 extra line just started. Exactly the same count as the last page in the notebook, which means they didn't stop counting. They just moved to me. I woke up in the woods, and my tent wasn't where I pitched it. At first, I thought I was still dreaming, but then I stepped outside and realized all of us had been moved. So this happened during spring break. Me and my boys, Ty, Marcus, and Jen, decided to go broke college-style camping. No campground, no reservations, just find a spot and vibe. We drove out to Oregon, took this long dirt road that just kept going and going. Eventually, we found a clearing. No tire tracks, no trash, no people. It honestly felt untouched, which, at the time, felt perfect. We set up our tents kind of spread out, maybe 10, 15 feet apart. Nothing special, just wherever the ground looked flat enough. We lit a fire, cracked open some beers. Marcus was talking nonsense like usual, Jen roasting him. Ty just sitting there quiet like always. Everything felt normal. Too normal. Looking back, there were signs. At the time, we just ignored them, like how quiet it was. No bugs, no wind, no animals. Pause. Even the fire sounded off, like it was the only thing making noise in the entire forest. At one point, Jen even said, "Yo, why does it feel like we're being watched?" We laughed it off, but nobody really disagreed. Around midnight, we put the fire out and went to sleep, and that's when things got weird. I don't sleep heavy, like ever. Camping, even worse. I usually wake up like 3 or 4 times a night, but that night, nothing. No waking up, no tossing around. It felt like I just shut off, like someone flipped a switch. When I woke up, it was early morning, sun barely coming up. I remember feeling off, like something wasn't right.
I unzipped my tent, stepped outside, and just stood there because nothing was where it should be. All of our tents were moved, not dragged, not messed up, perfectly placed
In a circle, and in the center was this stack of sticks, tied together like some kind of symbol. Not random, intentional. I start yelling for everyone. One by one, they come out, and I can see it on their faces. They're just as confused as I am. Marcus looks around and goes, "Yo, did y'all dream something weird?" Ty says he dreamed we were walking in a line, like following something. Jen says she heard someone counting, like right next to her. I didn't dream anything, but it felt like I was there, like we all were. We started looking around the campsite, trying to make sense of it. That's when we found the marks. Lines in the dirt where our tents had been dragged. But here's the thing. They stopped halfway, like something lifted them. And around the circle, there were footprints. Bare footprints. Not just one person, multiple, different sizes, all facing inward. That's when we all just knew. We had to leave. No discussion, no debate. We packed up fast, like faster than I've ever packed in my life. Nobody was joking anymore. Nobody was talking. We just left. But before I got in the car, I looked back one last time. The circle was gone. No sticks, no footprints, no marks, nothing. Later, that night, I checked my phone. There was a recording, 2 minutes long, pitch black audio, 4 sets of footsteps, 3, 4, 5.